Hello, everybody. This is episode 26 of In the Know, a daily short form podcast show which is aimed at putting people in the know. A show where I cover a variety of topics using my experiences and viewpoints in life to put people in the know. What is that know? It's the understanding that seems to be hard for people to grasp, which will make their lives a lot simpler. The following is today's intro speech, and that introduction speech is regarding what are you truly paying for when you go off to college? When you go to college, you have all these ideas in your head regarding what your money is going to get for you in college. Because we were sent to college in order to have a better chance at life. And yes, people with college educations do earn more on average than people without one. But you cannot just walk out into the career field and think you're valuable to the market. So understand what you're getting out of your college education and what you're really paying for. And what are you really paying for? Let's take a look at some of the courses. When you're in school and paying for college, you have to know that these courses are going to cost. And that means a class could run $1,000 to even $3,000 per credit hour. And if a class is roughly 3 or 4 credits, that class will run you from 3 to 12,000. Now 12,000 is on the high end amount, which is very few and far between. The courses that are cheaper will be more straightforward. But those more expensive classes could be classes like biology, engineering, architecture. You know, those specialized courses that you need for multiple books, computer software, not to mention the in-class needs that you don't purchase in the bookstore that are in the class. Like for instance, in biology, you may be conducting experiments in the class that are going to be costly. And in order to cover those costs, you're going to get charged more for the class. Then you have in this class, you have things like the scales, chemicals, eyewear that you can get at the bookstore. Trust me, I've seen physics books, for example, and they are very, very expensive. Let's look at the dormitories as far as what you're really paying for. This is a major revenue stream for the university. And the reason being is because you as a student are not paying rent. Well, let me say that in a different way. You're paying the university to go to school, to have a place to lay your head at night. And the reason I put it that way is because when you calculate the cost of tuition, you're basically paying the university for what amounts to a studio apartment or a one-bedroom apartment in some places. And depending on the university you attend, some of these college campuses even have townhouses for the graduate students. This is an expensive experiment when attending school. What about the academic buildings? The buildings are where all the classes must be held, and that building must be paid for somehow. Well, not quite by the students. Yes, your money is paying for the buildings, and they do so by raising tuition fees. But luckily, kicks the state themselves kick in money to the university for a lot of the building needs. But then, if you're at a private institution, you're getting money from the students and hopefully gifts from alumni as part of the endowment to the university. Let's look at the sports facilities. When it comes to this section of where your money is going, you have to understand some things. Number one, the sports programs generate a mass amount of money. Wait a minute, let me rephrase that statement again. The football and basketball programs generate a lot of revenue for the university. Yet the money that bigger, more known schools get still comes in part from the tuition that the students are paying. And yes, you aren't even a student athlete, but there are other facilities that the athletes don't use that are for the students' recreational needs. I remember at the university I attended, they had this place called the SAC, and I spent a lot of time there lifting weights and playing basketball. What about the faculty and staff? Their income. Let's not forget about the people who serve as the support system for this university. They are the ones who educate and run the departments for the various schools or whatever major you're pursuing. Yes, people, we do help in paying their salaries because then again, this is college, a place of higher education, but it's also a business as well. Academic services and other services. These are the various needs that serve the students, such as financial aid offices, health and wellness clinics, and even the campus police in case of emergencies. What about the grounds and maintenance? This is to make sure that the grass is cut, the bushes are sheared, the concrete walkways are kept, and picnic areas are kept clean and tidy. These are small expenses depending on the university. Some places have elaborate water fountains, rare flowers on campus, which can really drive up the cost. Now, potential careers. Here's where you pay for school the most. This is the reason you decided to come to college. You wanted to enter knowing that when you study, you will be using this education towards your future endeavors. And that is what people don't realize is that school is not a relevant work experience. So what are you going to do when you step in society and realize that your education is not what you thought it would be? So let's look at the end statement. Why we all have to understand what we pay for in college. While you're in high school, you apply to the schools of your choice. You get into the school of your dreams. Then you walk onto the campus with all these hopes and dreams of what this sheet of paper will do for you. Then after college, reality sets in. That's when some people decide to attend grad school because they feel there'll be something in a master's degree. But what happens? When you go for this degree, nothing. Because a college degree is not relevant work experience. You have to step out into the real world to gain experience, understanding that your degree complements your experience, not act as a substitute. So, thank you for listening to In the Know, and can't wait to bring the next episode where we talk about why there is a grading system in school.